Are we back? We just had a complete blip. We completely blipped out there. Spectrum, the whole deal just went down. It wasn't even a streaming issue or anything like that. It wasn't like Rumble or YouTube fucking up or anything like that. It was 100%. It was Spectrum just crashed out. You know what the solution was? You're not going to believe it. Unplug it and plug it back in. Where are we? I just want to do a check real quick. Rumble, am I on the right one? Am I on the right one? Rumble. Let me know in the Rumble chat right now if I'm in the right spot. Let us know. Uh-oh. I might have to go to another stream. YouTube, are we good? No, we're not good on YouTube. I got to go find the stream we're on YouTube now, too. Because it's not this one. Uh-oh. If you're writing in the chat right now, I cannot see because I don't know which chat it is. Studio will work. Refreshed. I wonder if the... Can you... Can you see me? Uh-oh. I got to go... Now I got to go find where our stream is. There. Okay, I found the Rumble chat. Now I got to go find our YouTube chat and see where that is. Where are we live at the moment? Here we go. There it is. Hopefully people will be coming back. Hey, don't worry. We were only heading towards 900 fucking people when we went down. I'm sure we'll be right back to that any second now. Here's the problem. My chat is, what do you call it? My, oh no, the Rumble chat is back. That's good. But the YouTube chat is not on my, what do you call it? Stream Ninja is not good. It's, let me see. Nope. So I'll be able to see the YouTube chat through just having the YouTube chat up over here. But it's the Rumble chat is the only one I can see on the, what do you call it? The Stream Ninja, the Chat Ninja on OBS. Well, son of a bitch, huh? Asshole. Yeah, we were doing 390 on Rumble and 470 on you. Son of a fuck. It's going to be lower numbers today for the rest of the show. What do you do? Because people got to go find it. Let's see. Trucker 18-wheeler, 199. We got that one. Good. If you're watching on YouTube, I can see you. I just don't have you on my, like I said, the Chat Ninja. Well, go ahead. Throw in a couple of bucks. 130 away from it. See, this is what I'm talking about. I told you. I fucking told you. I said, when we have these low goal days and everything's going great, I've learned not to be like, oh, yeah, fucking crush it. It's going to be an easy day. Those are the sweatiest, toughest, most struggly days ever. These are the ones that test me. These are the ones that fuck with my head because, like, full goal days, we're going to knock those out. Those are going to be fine. It's when it starts at 175 when you're like, nope. Because here's my attitude's going to be easy, got it, no big deal. The audience is going to feed off that, and they're going to go, He's fine. We're not fine. My internet took a complete shit on me, but the answer was, and you're not going to believe this, unplugging it and plugging it back in. Strange, right? I am now a paid technician for Spectrum. So let's get back into the show. Here's what would make me feel good. Throwing a metric fuck ton of money at the toe so I don't think today is going to be a complete fucking bust and failure after that giant crash. Monica with $2 over on PayPal. Thank you, Monica. $130 away from today's goal. Here's what you need to do. We haven't even gotten 300 of these people back yet. Oh, I hate this shit. I hate this. It's been a stellar week. You know what I'm doing right now? I'm being a spoiled brat is what I'm being. I'm being a completely spoiled brat. Because year over year on YouTube, our peak has been 500 regularly, 400 regularly on Rumble. We're peaking at over 900 people at a time. A year ago, when it was like April and I and all that stuff, we were peaking out at like 750. We're up a shitload from a year ago. And here I am going, oh, we crashed. The numbers today aren't going to be as good. Like, what a spoiled fucking cunt. Like, try having some real problems, Aaron. Try having some real issues. By the way, thank you, Michael, for the $20. He says, hopefully this helps. It certainly does. We coming for you, nigga. That's going to put us at 110 for the day. Yeah, let's knock out the goal. Purely to soothe my ego from the giant statistical shit we're going to take for today. Well, what do you do? Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo. Let's center ourselves.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Cause they love him in London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland and Canada and Mexico. They say, I believe in Joe Hendry.
Black people.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
All right. I liked that little show we were doing there. We had the Melanie Mac little thing we did. That was fun. Shit. Good thing I recorded it. But that sucks. I hate that. I hate little internet-y issues. Someone says, what happened? What do you mean, what happened? What happened was, check out the show, come back in. That's exactly what happened. Like, internet, it started with, not Restream. It started with OBS. OBS just did a hard crash. And they went... it said, disconnected, reconnecting, and it just wasn't. And this has happened to me enough now where, like, I don't even panic anymore. I just go, okay, walk over to the router, unplug it, plug it back in, and then wait. And I'm sure we were off for all of 5 minutes, but it feels like a half hour when it happens to you. Doom Clone says that what happened is the curse. I heard Doom saying this. We were so excited about Josh Sweat saying another win for the toe. Doom Clone said, this is a curse, dude. You hate the Philadelphia Eagles. You think the Eagles are fucking scum. Will Heron got Josh Sweat to say another win for the toe, and you're riding high. You think it's the greatest thing ever, but guess what? It's going to fuck you over in the end. Doom, you guys got to listen to Doom. He has a remarkably startling accuracy rate on things like that. Let's go to Dr. Silverwolf for $5. Thank you very much. He says, yeah, trying to have real problems like me. I have to drive almost 2 hours to pick up the M1 Garand I'm buying. Yeah, you and I both have real problems. My internet crashed for 2.5 minutes. You're going to get a great gun. You and I are, we're burdened. $4.99 from Red Fox Mad says, Aaron, you should get T-Mobile fiber internet, F Spectrum. I switched to T-Mobile fiber internet, and I love it. I got to be honest with you guys. I'm like one of the few people in the world who likes Spectrum. I think they're great. You're supposed to unplug your router and plug it back in like every couple of months just to, just to keep it running. What great technology we have in this country, by the way. Hey, you know the thing that you depend on for like all business? You gotta unplug it and plug it in every once in a while. Like, what an imperfect, so like that and dentistry to me is just funny. It's like, hey man, my tooth hurts. We've got robotic level space age technology. What do? I'm gonna inject this into your mouth. I'm gonna put my foot in your chest, and I'm gonna yank as hard as I can on that tooth to pull it out of your head. No, like, you don't have any like nanobots or anything like that, or where you can build me a new tooth. Oh, yeah, I can do that. Oh, great. What do? I'm going to take this drill. I'm going to shove it all the way up near your brain, and then I'm going to take a bunch of Quikrete, and I'm going to put it in the hole in your tooth that I made, and I'm going to shove a post in it, and then I'm just going to glue this piece of porcelain into your mouth. You mean like from the toilet? Dental technology, it's behind a little bit. Thank you, boys, very much. Oh, here we go, guys. Check it out. JS is back, and I have terrible news. He is not over his steel-toe derangement syndrome. I'm going to officially make, you know how like cancer kids have that one bald kid at the children's hospital? And he's like the one they show all the doctors and like, this is the case that we need to observe. I think JS, what do you guys think? Should we make him our official mascot of steel-toe derangement syndrome? I think that's the way to go. He says, from a scale of 1 to a trillion, how desperate is SP? Let me choose him, a bald begging zero who has open cases, been divorced twice, and has 3 kids. The question you should be asking, JS, is how big is my dick? Moderate, if we're being honest. I mean, really. She's a wonderful gal, and I'm a wonderful guy. It's amazing. Wait a minute. Are you saying, JS, that you may not know me fully from obsessing over me on the internet 24 hours a day? Weird. That's very, very strange. JS, ladies and gentlemen, our key component to discuss. If we can figure out JS's strain of steel-toe derangement syndrome, we may be able to reverse the disease. By the way, JS, if you're going to pretend you hate me instead of being a huge fan, do not look jealous of my life, dude. It's a bad look. Because that comment, I know you don't know it. You're not the brightest guy. That's an envy comment. It's not fair. He has a girl and I don't. And it's not. Mine's fat and it's bad. Brother, don't let me know that I get to you that badly. That's steel-toe derangement syndrome. Anonymous with $35. You know who you are, and I fucking hate you for doing that anonymously. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. That's 45 off the number for today. Oh, God damn it, math, Aaron. $65 away from today's goal. Oh, but I know better than that. Let's still work at knocking this thing out. $1 from King Kong Dong says, Aaron, do you want to borrow an Eagles jersey for Sunday? I have a Mike Vick jersey perfect for your Gordy situation. That's not. I don't do anything to Gordy that would necessitate me wearing a Mike Vick jersey. I don't understand. I don't understand what you're talking about. I don't know what that means. Thank you very much. Los Federales with $1 says Aaron's internet crashing. Oh boy. All right. What does it look like? What does my internet crashing look like? Ah! Ow! Fuck! Ah! Oh, that hurts it doesn't get easier each time. Really does get more and more difficult each time you see it. Oh. Zenman Build says there is technology to regrow teeth one at a time. Well, they haven't brought it here yet. They still just give us donkey teeth here in central Minnesota. You didn't know? It's a thing. All right, there you go. $65 away from today's goal. Thank you guys very, very much. I see Poe still suffering from his steel-toe derangement syndrome. He's got that strain where you pretend like as I hammer and destroy people, he acts like it's, oh no, it's getting to him as I play with my food and mock these people. Poe's got the same insecurity with his steel-toed derangement syndrome. He's just in the observation deck for right now. We just kick his ass every once in a while, and he's the best kind because he's very durable, because every time we kick him, he goes, no, see, I'm winning. Poe's an easy one. Thanks, sweetheart. All right, guys, we got to get back to this shit. Where were we before we got out of here? Oh, yeah, Trump is apparently taking over Gaza. When I voted for Donald Trump, I didn't know it was get a second term, get a free empire. I had no idea, but apparently we're getting a 51st state, Canada, we're getting Greenland, we're taking back the Panama Canal. Like, I think Trump kind of got tired of the diplomacy of everything his last time around, and now his answer to every international crisis is, well, just take it. Because he had Benjamin Netanyahu, war criminal. He had Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House. And the one thing that disappoints me about Trump is that he may not be as bad as Biden, but he sucks Israel dick bad. And Israel gets us in more trouble. Israel causes more problems for us. Israel is that son who keeps getting DUIs, and he keeps getting busted with cocaine in his car, and we have to go smooth things over with the mayor. Like, it's really fucking obnoxious, this Israel thing. But Trump has developed a strategy that I don't think any other American president has tried before.
A beautiful area with homes and safety, and they can live out their lives in peace and harmony instead of having to go back and do it again. The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it. And
I love how BB's like, wait, what the fuck did you say? Because remember, don't kid yourself. Like, everyone wants to pretend it's just, these crazy, bloodthirsty Arab terrorists just want to run the Jews out of Israel. And don't get me wrong, they do. But the main impetus for all these latest terror attacks and wars and everything else is that Gaza and the West Bank was promised as a territory for the Palestinian people. And what the Israelis are doing, the dirty fucking shithole move that they're doing, is they're just slowly moving their people in. They're basically doing to Gaza and West Bank the same thing they did to Israel in the 20s, 30s, and 40s to become a country in the first place. They're just moving their people in, buying up land, building apartments on other people's shit, and just living on it and going, fucking do something. Like, Israel does this shit where they encroach on other people's land. They go, fuck you, do something. Then the people who are losing their homes do something, and Israel goes, oh, I'm being attacked. I'm being victimized by these bloodthirsty Muslim terrorists. Meanwhile, Israel starts it. They poke these poor people in the chest. They poke them right in the face, and I get it. Hezbollah and Hamas are the least sympathetic people on earth. I understand completely. Like, if Israel had an enemy that was in any way sympathetic, they'd be fucked. But instead, they have crazy Muslims for enemies. So, back in the 600s, they took the land. So, Israel does this passive-aggressive settlement shit, and then they dare people to do something, and then when those people do something, Israel plays victim, we give them a bunch of weapons, and they go in there and bomb the fuck out of people. And guess what? Take more land. So Israel has this great set-up victimhood culture where they get to go, oh, this land is poor and desolate. We should build beautiful condos on it, and then it'll be ours. And then they move in and they take it over. And then those people go, hey, wait a minute. Those may have been shitholes, but they were our shitholes. They were ours. And then Israel goes, well, why don't you do something about it? And then they go, all right. And they strap a bomb vest to somebody and blow some shit up. And then Israel goes, oh, my goodness, we're victims of an attack. And then they go, we need to fight back. I mean, defend ourselves. And then they level city blocks. And then there's a ceasefire. And then what does Israel do? They go, look at how bombed out and shitty this neighborhood is. We should build a settlement on it. It's a fucking gimmick, and the only reason they get away with it is because they're backed by us. So Trump is basically sitting here treating Netanyahu and Hamas like they're two kids who can't share a toy, and he's like, all right, fine, the toy belongs to me now. I'm going to play with it. Neither of you can have it. Like, even Netanyahu's looking at Trump like, whoa, homeboy. You're going to take over the Gaza Strip? Netanyahu's gathering with Mossad right now, and he's like, do we have him on like an Epstein plane? Do we have like the other presidents, right? We got him with like teenagers and shit. No, he doesn't do that. Fuck. What do we have this guy blackmailed with? Nothing? Shit. How about that porn star? He just admitted that? Shit. So what are we going to do? Hopefully they just bend over and take it.
And be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site. Level the site and get
Look at
rid
this.
of the...
Go back. Bibi is not happy. You can tell Trump did not run this shit past him because Netanyahu's a colonizer. He wants to kick all the brown people out and build these expensive settlements and just slowly take over the land. That's Israel's style. That's how they became a country in the first place. So now Trump is sitting here going, we're just going to take it and it's going to be America. And Bibi's like, you did not run this by me before we had a meeting.
Site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area.
Palestinians. Yeah, I guarantee Netanyahu didn't agree to this. I can't wait for the day when Netanyahu pipes up around Trump and Trump goes, make sure you put a 25% tariff on all Israeli goods.
Do a real job, do something different. Just can't go back. If you go back, it's going to end up the same way it has for 100 years. I'm hopeful that this season...
All right, well, so we got, what do we got? We're getting Canada, we're getting Greenland, we're getting the Panama Canal, and we're getting Gaza. Gaza kind of sounds like the player to be named later in every football trade. It's not exactly the acquisition that we wanted in this whole deal. But I guess Donald Trump wants it. We're going to end up taking it. Atomic Ray says, can Bibi take Minneapolis? Dive Bar says, you don't have Yahoo's fucking response. They didn't think that it was important in that particular clip. Thank you very much. Zenman Builds with $1 says, not donkey teeth. Meth heads rejoice. Oh, we have some news on dentistry. We'll get to that in a little bit. No, I think Bibi was totally caught off guard by Donald Trump going, we're going to just take the West Bank. I don't, Netanyahu's one of those guys who, he goes in and he's prepared and they've talked about what they're going to do. Trump's just out there winging it. Now, this guy on Twitter says that, oh, God, people got to get over shit like this. He said Netanyahu humiliated Trump today and made Trump his slave. Fucking Trump pulled out his chair for him. Jesus. I don't, that 4-second clip does not a slave make. I mean, you gotta be careful. He's just being polite. So no, Netanyahu did not have any kind of response about the Gaza thing. Yeah, this was the only response he had. I'm glad somebody got a shot of this because I thought the same thing. Bibi did not look happy while Trump was talking about taking Gaza and providing jobs for the people.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job.
Look at how high that eyebrow got.
With it too, we'll own it and be responsible for all the dangers.
He's like, wait a minute, motherfucker. You can always tell when Trump just pulls stuff out of his ass and he didn't tell the person about it in advance. Because they're just like, whoa, wait, well, you're going to do what now? Gaza with the... That's like, I wish I could see Justin Trudeau's face when Donald Trump goes, I think you guys should just become the 51st state. It's like, what? But we're a big boy country. The Queen is still on your money. Shut up, queer.
Loaded bombs and other weapons on the site. Level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings. Level it out. Create an economic...
He's looking around like, hey, don't I control the media? Can't any of you say something here? Jesus.
...development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area. Do a real job. Do something different. Just can't go back. If you go back, It's going to end up the same way it has for 100 years. I'm hopeful that this ceasefire could be the beginning of a larger and more enduring peace that will end the bloodshed and killing once and for all.
He does not like this whole Trump taking over Gaza thing.
The administration has been moving quickly to restore trust in the alliance and rebuild American strength throughout the region, and we've really done that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Israel can pick a new leader, but we're not going to get anywhere with this fucking guy because it's very clear he doesn't like these. He doesn't like these ceasefires. He wants to clear it out. He wants to take it all over. He wants it to be Israel's. That's all that's going to suffice for him. Andrea Plus with $2. Yeah, they'll rename it the MAGA Strip. Yeah, BB, I've seen in the chat. Yeah, BB is pissed, JH. You're right. Bigot on Socialist Media says Trump just finished kissing BB's ass behind the curtain. I don't know. I don't know. Trump doesn't seem like he has ass kissing in him. Although he did say one thing. He said, it's a very beautiful area. It's got a lot of potential. My son-in-law told me this. And his son-in-law is Jared Kushner, who he's also, I'm pretty sure, a big-time Zionist. So I think what Jared Kushner told him is, hey, no, Pops, don't worry about it. What we can do is we can take it over, and then we'll give it to Israel when we're done. Well, I really don't trust. I don't trust anything Jared Kushner's involved in. That's all. I just scored some points with Sam Show right there. Coltrane with $5 says, LOL, the queen is still on your money, queer. That was worth $5. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I love when my humor is quantified into money. That's always, I'm not kidding. That's a very good feeling whenever someone goes, that was so funny. I had to pull $5 out of my pocket for you. You know, that must be what the Spackle Bucket guy feels like when he plays a really good drum tune outside the stadium. You know, somebody goes, oh, here's a 20 spot. You're like, damn, I've got it today. Flinty Gecko with $20. Hey, Gray Duckling and Company. I think Flinty Gecko is starting to see you guys as a threat. Gray Duckling has got himself up to $143, so he was about $100 away from Flinty. So Flinty felt the need to throw in another 20.
We want the gold, sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
He's creating a little bit of distance between him and the Duck. Flinty Gecko's at 270. The Duck's at 143. Adams at 107. Dennis is at 100. Oz still at 90. And you got more and more people today jumping into that $50 range. Thank you very much, Flinty Gecko, for that $20. Hey, guys, that puts us $40 away from today's goal. Wait a minute. Could we have a stream crash and knock out the goal today? Oh, no. Guys, this is good. This is a good experiment for steel-toe derangement syndrome, and I'm glad you guys are knocking out these goals so we can properly fund this research. We're literally having breakthroughs every single day. The samples we've taken from Poe have taught us a lot about his self-delusion. The samples we've taken from JS have taught us a lot about the anger mechanism that's triggered by steel-toe derangement syndrome. We're learning a lot. Sam Show says, you fucked it. No, I didn't fuck it. Guys, unfuck it. $40 away. Sam Show thinks I just jinxed it. No. He says, you're not supposed to point it out till afterwards. No, maybe you're right, but I think you're wrong. Let's see. $40 away. I think that can be salved by like $5 and $10 at a time. So let's see this thing that we got sent by, who was it? Zenman sent us the thing on teeth regrowing drug in the works. Okay, this was about a year and a half ago, July 6th of 2023. A new miracle drug that could regrow your own teeth is in the works. Oh my God, my fucking nanobots idea. Here's what I worry about immediately before we even read this. How is it going to know when to stop growing the teeth? Like, how do we know we don't end up with like the big cartoony Chinese, Japanese buck teeth thing? Like you'll just end up with like Gary Busey teeth at some point. Researchers in Japan are currently working on a Japan. How do we know? Working on a medication that would allow people to grow a new set of teeth with a clinical trial slated for July 2024. The country's daily news site recently reported that the idea of growing new teeth is every dentist's dream. Dentistry really does sound like the most depressing profession. Hey, man, what's your dream? A pill that can grow teeth. Oh, fuck, this job sucks. If we could get a pill that grew teeth, I would be so happy. Well, then that would make dentists like doctors. They would just be people with prescription pads, and that's it. That's all doctors are now. When's the last time a doctor like put hands on you and fixed you? You know? Now it's just like, oh, what's wrong? You're a fat cunt? Okay, here's an Ozempic prescription. There you go. Congratulations on doing something to address your fat cuntness. I appreciate it. So we're going to find out. This is a clinical trial that was slated for July of last year. Okay, this is good progress. The idea of growing new teeth is every dentist's dream. I've been working on this since I was a grad student. I was confident I'd be able to make it happen. The innovative new medicine helps treat people who don't have a full set of adult teeth due to congenital factors, and an American diet of sugar. If successful, it will be the first drug in the world that will allow patients to regrow teeth. I mean, it would be a lot easier than getting drilled on and pulled at and manipulated and all that shit. Oh, it's the worst. Grown men are scared of the dentist. I am. I hate the dentist. I hate going. Because no matter what they tell, it's like going to a mechanic. No matter what they tell you, it's always worse, and they always have to do more. And dental insurance, I don't know how many of you have dental insurance. I hate having dental insurance. Doesn't even save you that much. Like, you go there, you have a tooth pulled, and they're like, well, we're still going to need $200. Like, $200? You pulled a tooth out of my head. Like, well, it would be more, but your insurance covered $300. It's like, $500 to pull a fucking tooth out? You gave me a shot, you drilled it, and you yanked it. I hate it, dude. I hate it. It's like, oh, but your checkups are free with dental insurance. Yo, you mean the checkup where they tell me they need to do a bunch of shit to my mouth so they can get the $500 for the tooth? Yeah. No, it's great. It doesn't seem like a hustle at all. Los Federales says, I have 90% dental coverage. Oh, well, fuck me. I've got good dental coverage, and I've got like 60, 65, and then there's like a bunch of other shit that's free. It doesn't cost anything. But it's all the stuff that just leads to more shit being done is the problem. $1 from Gray Duckling says, got my twister, not even assembled. I don't know what to believe in anymore. Well, I didn't want to open the box for you. Jesus. By the way, Gray Duckling's at 144. Flinty Gecko is at 270. JH says Melton must have shit dental coverage. If you're judging by appearance, Melton has shit everything coverage. Let's be real. Grand Poobah with $2 says, hey, vice grips aren't cheap, Aaron. Good point. Good point. They really aren't cheap, are they? Doorman is up to $75 for the week. Doorman's creeping up near that $100 mark to get in the top 4. Doorman with $20 says, have you seen the news clips of Tim Walz trying to white knight this Department of Education thing? Yeah, you know what? We probably should grab that. I'm guessing Fox 9 will have a really good clip for that. 20. Hey, holy shit. Look at that. $20 away from today's goal. $20. Chevy fan says you need hairline coverage. Oh, I know. I like, because it's long now. I'm getting a haircut tomorrow or Friday. Probably tomorrow. I'll have time tomorrow to get it. I haven't been healthy enough. I didn't feel like going somewhere sick and getting a haircut person sick. But now that it's so long, I have to comb it back on the sides. And then I comb it back, I get it wet, I comb it back on the top, and then comb it forward, and then, fuck around and do everything. And when I combed it back today, I went, holy shit, you know what my hairline's looking like nowadays? Hannibal Lecter and Red Dragon. Let's pull that up. Hannibal Lecter, Red Dragon. Take a look at this shit. Tell me I don't have the same exact hairline as Anthony Hopkins in Red Dragon. Right? Holy shit. Hopkins and I in Red Dragon looking exactly the same. When I slick my hair back like that, I look just like Anthony Hopkins in Red Dragon. The problem is he was like 62 when he made that movie. I ain't anywhere near 62, bro. I ain't anywhere. Somebody says yours is worse. Well, all right, look, guys, look, let's not be fucking assholes about it. I mean, my God. Sam Show says you look like shit. Now, wait a minute. Guys, that was already implied. We don't need to then say that I was already trying. That was the message I was trying to convey to you, was that I look like You know, I like you guys, and I don't know why. You're always so hurtful. The people with steel-toed derangement syndrome, they don't hurt my feelings. They're hilarious. They're just really delusional individuals. It's the people that are genuine fans and just admit their love for this show. Those are the ones that hurt me. If I ever think about this job outside of the show, which is not that often, I think of you guys, the ones who love me, and the pain you've caused. Thank you very much to Red Fox Mad for $4.99. Says, my dental insurance covers 80% for getting a crown. You know what? I should probably look into it because I only know fillings because my kids get them, I get them. And I know that it's like 60-some% for the fillings, but nothing for the checkups. Like the checkups are all included. The problem is in the checkups, they go, oh yeah, we need to do this, 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 and this. You ever notice your teeth never hurt until after you go to the dentist? It's a goddamn conspiracy. Thermodyne Diesel gifting 5 memberships. Thank you very much. Hey, guys, guess what? $5 left on today. You know how I said that I didn't think it was going to be easy today? We've even had a show crash, and it's still been a pretty easy march down to zero. So thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. We're funding steel-toed derangement syndrome. We're going to find a cure. By the way, if you notice me ratcheting up the steel-toed derangement syndrome, it's because my spies got back to me. It's really bothering people. It's bothering people so much that they're yelling and screaming about how it's not bothering them. It's not bothering me, and I don't have meltdowns over it, as they literally have a meltdown over it. It's too easy. Like, I'm too much more... The intelligence level of me compared to them and their leadership is just... Sometimes it feels like shooting retarded fish in a barrel sometimes to get them going. Elon Musk was asked if Doge should audit the IRS. Now, I don't know if Doge has that authority. I feel like the Office of Management and Budget or the Treasury Department or somebody. I don't know if Elon Musk can just audit the IRS. You know what the funny thing is about this Doge thing is it's brand new, so nobody really knows what it is or what it can do. And it's done on July 4th of next year. So, like, Elon Musk, they're like, hey, should you audit the IRS? Like, fuck yeah, I should audit the IRS. And nobody stops to go, hey, are you allowed to audit the IRS? He's like, oh. Like, Elon's just kind of pulling all this Doge stuff right out of his ass so far. Now, he stirred controversy when he put a poll up on X yesterday asking users if his Department of Government Efficiency should audit the IRS. The results were overwhelmingly in favor, with more than 90% of respondents supporting the move, including 40% who chose the fuck yes option. The poll quickly trended online, with many users debating the implications of Musk's growing role in government oversight. You know, if you're the media, I saw this when I Googled IRS today. I saw nothing but articles from mainstream media talking about how cuts to the IRS could slow your refund payment and processing your taxes and blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something. If you're the media and you're running any kind of cover for the IRS, you're against the people. Because if you asked like Democrat, Republican, doesn't matter who they voted for, you ask American people what they're probably most allied on in what government agency they'd like to see completely wiped out, a lot of them will say IRS. Not Mike Rotundo, Erwin R. Shyster, not that. The Internal Revenue Service. We fucking hate it. And if they got rid of it, fucking awesome. Somebody pointed this out. I saw this on Twitter too. Somebody was like, here's how the IRS works. They know exactly how much you owe, but they make you guess. It's like, why don't you just send me a fucking bill? And they're like, no. We need you to guess. Oh, what if I guess wrong? Well, then like a year later, you know, when you've budgeted and you think you've got all your money right and everything else, we'll send you a bill. From the year before? Yeah, well, we have 10 years, so maybe like 7 years from now we'll send it, and we'll have interest on it also for the last 7 years. Won't that be good? Like, they're fucking criminals. They're the mafia. They're crooks for sure. Hey, the VIG's been running the whole time on your tax debt. You didn't tell me I had any tax debt. Yeah, but I'm telling you now. Oh, imagine that. They're crooks, man. IRS. I know that probably 3 times in my life, I've gotten either a State Department of Revenue or IRS thing. And it's all connected to when I used to get Twitch money for the radio show. I was young and stupid, and I didn't know that Twitch didn't take taxes out of that. So they sent me a bill. I used to pay our second mics on the radio through the money we got simulcasting the show on Twitch. You know, we'd give each of those guys an extra couple $100 every month. And with the radio station paying them $10 an hour to be here, I thought it would help. So like 2 years after we were done on radio, I get this IRS bill for Twitch. And it's like, look, I owe the money. I understand. I fucked that up. But at the same time, it's like, you just get to send that 2 years after the fact. I feel like let's give the IRS 1 year. And that's it. After a year passes, everybody's scot-free. You either catch it up front or you don't. But like 2 years, I got something from the Minnesota Department of Revenue a year ago that I had to pay. And it was for Twitch from 4 years ago when I was on the radio. And they were like, oh yeah, there's also $700 worth of interest and penalties. It's like, you didn't fucking tell me I owed it. And you know what the worst part is? You just sit there and you write the check. You're like, here you go, you fuckers. You know, it's like, there's nothing you can do. It's just such a fucking rigged game. So if Doge wants to go in and butt fuck the IRS, nobody's going to feel bad. Nobody's going to feel bad. Yeah, no, Yankee's right. And they tax, and then they tax the interest. They don't tell you that you owe it. They wait 3 or 4 years, and then they tell you you owe it. And by the way, tack on something for interest from that money we never told you you owe. Dead Game says the letter alone freaked me out. Oh, yeah. Your gut sinks when you get those letters from the IRS. I'm so used to it now because I have a business, and there'll be, every month I pay payroll taxes for, the money I pay out. And it's automatically taken out on the 15th every single month. And once a quarter, I'll get $30 back, or once a quarter, they'll tell me I owe $8 or something like that. You know what it was? I underpaid payroll taxes last year by $84. So a couple weeks ago, I saw that the IRS had taken $84. That's the other thing. The IRS didn't send me any mail telling me that I owed $84 on payroll taxes. But then you just see it gone one day. You just look and you go, oh, look at that, $84. That's fast. I wonder what that was for. And it's the IRS that took it, so you go, well, I assume they had a right to. It's really fucking wild, man. So if they want to take away a little bit of muscle, a little bit of power from the IRS, I'm not getting in their way. Not at all. Dive Bar with $1 says they can't get rid of the IRS. They need a Department of Government to collect taxes. They can change the name of it, though. Or we could just not tax people. I don't mean like not collect any taxes. Like, obviously, the government needs to run. But what I'm saying is, like, the income tax, you can get rid of that. Like, don't make it so that we need all these accountants and all these fucking people just to do taxes. How about a nationwide sales tax, a consumption tax? You know, if we had a nationwide consumption tax, that would mean the government would have to be better managers of the economy. Because if the economy's shit and we're not consuming, they're not getting paid. So let's go with the national sales tax. That way, we don't have to have this big thing at the end of the year where we all get together. We just pay it to a business. A business charges us up front. The business pays it at the end of the year. Easy to keep track of. You take all your sales and then you tack on, what'll it be, 20% for a sales tax, and you take that out of your spreadsheet, put that off to the side, save it for the government. Easy peasy. That would be awesome. But why would they change it? They have no motivation to change it. Works great for them. We're the ones who get inconvenienced. What do they give a fuck? Hey, IRS, you want to change this thing where you don't have to do fucking anything and anybody who fucks up, you can go get more money out of them? No, this sounds like a great deal for us. I ain't doing shit. Coltrane with $1 says they can defund the IRS, though. Also, Trump should tell everyone to skip paying federal taxes, and he will mass pardon them after his 4 years, essentially eliminating the IRS. Trucker 18-Wheeler says Dave Ramsey said it's not illegal to not pay taxes. It's illegal to not file taxes. Yeah, I know. Dave Ramsey is a good old libertarian, you know. They all have that great theory where, you know, you don't have to pay your taxes. Yeah, Wesley Snipes thought that too. And they put him in the can for a while to cool him out. So, yeah, I mean, you can not pay it, but they can also come get you. So I don't know. Approachable with $1 says your hairline looks like an arrow that says come here, like some sort of forehead tramp stamp. You guys are $1.80 away from the goal. I hate you, though. Approachable. The rest of you are totally fine. You guys are just about at the goal. I appreciate it. We're doing overtime today. We've only had one morning show this week where we've had to ask for the goal. Just want to point that out. So tomorrow morning, if you guys could knock that one out, or if you want to get started today, knocking out tomorrow's goal, we could have like not just a perfect week for the toe so far, but we could have like a very impressive perfect week. The only problem is it does cause more steel toe derangement syndrome. $1 from Dive Bar. He says the real solution is to greatly diminish government spending. Then you don't need the tax. National sales tax is unconstitutional because direct taxes have to be apportioned. Well, fuck me running. That idea's dead. What are we, $1.60? $1.60 away from today's goal? JH says, Aaron, what's your favorite TV show of all time? I don't want to pick a hack answer like Breaking Bad or whatever, although Breaking Bad is very good. Mad Men's up there. Scrubs is up there. I don't know, man. Walking Dead, like first 6 seasons, is up there. I think I'll have to go Breaking Bad because it ended. So Breaking Bad or Mad Men are my 2 favorite TV shows of all time. They are really, really good. Also, first like 5 seasons of Dexter, 4 seasons of Dexter are really good as well. They're I'd put those up there too. Here we go. Oh, I told you we had some Chauvin news today. Before we get to the Chauvin news, since we're going into Minnesota, let's see if we can find that Tim Walz Department of Education. He didn't exactly have a meltdown, but he had one of his like cute, you know, when he tries to be a tough guy moment. He's Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Twitter didn't see it as very important. Oh my God, I just saw a meme that said horse semen and it was a pipe shooting liquid out of it and then a guy in a chair drinking and it said Tim Walz. That's, I believe they're insinuating that he drank a whole bunch of horse cum. That was, I can say this, seeing it before I was prepared, remarkably unsettling. Remarkably unsettling. Minnesota senators want to make it legal to eat beavers again. Wait a minute. Hold on. Time out. I'm checking out Minnesota news right now. There's some stuff we definitely need to cover today. Wait. What? It's been illegal to eat beavers this whole time? What are you doing, baby? Breaking the law. Fucking hell. I don't see anything about Tim Walz talking about the Department of Education. Boy, even our local media doesn't give a fuck what Tim Walz has to say. By the way, did you hear that sack of shit is probably running for a third term as governor? And the Republicans in this state are so dumb, they'll lose. They'll run some dipshit. They'll have some guy who like checks every box and is very palatable to voters, but he's like not crazy enough, so Minnesota won't pick him. Like we had a black, what was he? He was a black mayor and former sheriff of a suburban county. Republican. And you could have picked him and he would have checked a shitload of boxes. He would have taken votes away. He would have taken votes away in the metro. He would have taken some black votes away. Strong with law enforcement. And they nominated fucking crazy Scott Jensen. Remember the guy during COVID who wore a doctor's coat all the time? And I know he's a doctor, but like Scott Jensen just looked crazy. He had the look of crazy on him. And I know a lot of the stuff he said about COVID was true, but like he sucked at everything else. So like people are like, yeah, I like what he's saying about COVID. It's like, great. What else does he have to say to the people of Minnesota? Oh, he hates COVID. Fuck. So we lost that one. Scott Jensen lost to Tim Walz. But, is that his name, Ryan the Garbage Man? Kendall Qualls? Yeah, Kendall Qualls was a guy who could have beat Tim Walz. And what did we do? Just screwed the pooch on that one. Kendall Qualls, there it is. That's him. That's the guy. We could have nominated him. Instead, we elected crazy Republican Bill Nye the Science Guy. Or like Matthew Lesko, the guy who teaches you how to get free money from the government. Ugh. Yeah, officer in the U.S. Army. Global vice president of a Fortune 100 healthcare company. Wasn't he also a mayor somewhere in Minnesota? Hell, he's been on Jason Whitlock's show. I'm cool. Let's do it. Kendall Qualls. Yeah, let's pick this dude. Sometimes you got to... Here's my problem with Republicans. Sometimes you have to play the demographic game. There's not going to be a Trump to bail you out every time. Sometimes you got to play the demo game and beat the Democrats at their own game. We elected the guy that was a high-class vermin supreme. Yes, Mr. Approachable. Like, sure, he sounded good on COVID and all that, but Scott Jensen was just too spurgy. Let's see if we can find him. Yeah, this was the guy we picked to run for governor against Tim Walz.
Hi, I'm Dr. Scott Jensen, and I am not exaggerating when I tell you, if you're a patient, your doctor, your insurance company, your clinic, your hospital, we can all get paid more if we make you sicker. And I think you need to understand that.
Like, okay, like you're not wrong. I understand you're not wrong. But then he goes on for 18 minutes about this, and it's like, that's not what people want out of a governor. Great for a YouTube commentator. Absolutely. You'll kill a lot of people's time. They can do dishes. They can do laundry. Awesome. I'd love to hear more about this. But they don't want to hear that out of a governor. You know what they want out of a governor? Same thing they like about Trump. Sound bites. Boom. We're taking Gaza. You know, Trump, you go like, we're taking Gaza. They're like, how are you going to do it? He goes, you'll see. That's it. Scott Jensen would be like, we're going to take Gaza, and the way we're going to do it is, they have these things called NGOs. They're non-government organizations, and, they operate in 214 different countries. You lost me, dork. You lost me. So, you see what I mean about he's got the look of crazy in him? That's who we picked. And the other guy we could have picked was this guy named Kendall Qualls. Smart guy. Solid.
We are just
like
over 2 months away from the GOP nominating convention that will choose the GOP candidate for governor. The list of candidates seems to be growing by the week. One of the outsiders running is Kendall Qualls, an Army veteran and founder of the nonprofit Take Charge Minnesota.
See, look at all these Republicans. Boring white lady, boring white guy, really boring white guy, boringer white guy, boring white guy, interesting white guy, little lumberjacky, fucking badass looking Army black dude, kind of Indian looking fella. And I'll say this guy, I don't know who is Rich Stanek. Is he the Ramsey County Sheriff? This guy, interesting looking white dude. I'm not against all white dudes. It's just that Minnesota Republicans seem to look like the most boring white dudes ever. Although this guy kind of looks like the Burl Ives snowman in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So he could be an interesting white man. But Michelle Benson, I know Michelle Benson. Boring. Not a bad lady, but just boring as fuck. Not a leader. So let's watch a little Kendall Qualls and see how bad Minnesota fucked up.
Thanks for having me on.
One of the things that you have talked about is that you want to run for governor because of Governor Tim Walz pushing an anti-American agenda. What exactly is anti-American about what Governor Walz is doing?
Well, first of all, I'm running for governor because I believe the people of Minnesota are looking for an outsider. They're looking for a leader to help bring us together. But also just to restore back to basic norms. If you think about the crime that we're having right now in our streets, that's not okay. Letting convicted criminals out after just serving a few days or like no bail or no cost bail, and letting them out to victimize citizens in their neighborhoods again.
Okay, sir, but sir,
I would consider that
if you could
pretty
just
un-American.
So you consider that un-American, that policy?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, in the sense that, you're looking out for the safety of a criminal before you're looking out for the safety of American streets. Yeah, I would say that's making it easier to commit crime would be an anti-American policy, quite literally. And I know some people are saying, I don't know if this guy's the guy. What I'm saying is, the better guy than Scott Jensen, better than the guy we picked here in Minnesota. There is one guy, though, that might run this next time around in 2026. And I think he's interesting. I think he's got all the features of a leader, and I think we could make it work.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
He's already got a campaign song.
London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland and Canada and Mexico. They say I believe in Joe Hendry.
What?
I believe in Joe Hendry.
What a guy. Sings his own theme music. Him and Shawn Michaels. Turd Burglar says, that guy is not authentic. I didn't hear a chirp. Oh, well, you know what? I guess I can understand your skepticism. Hey, you want to hear something funny? $160 away from today's goal. All the proceeds of today's goal go towards fighting steel toe derangement syndrome. So this is the story that got me on to Minnesota type shit today. A lot of people thought during the Derek Chauvin thing that Minnesota, basically exposed to the nation, especially the response to the riots, that Minnesota is kind of a cucked state. Well, I have news for you. You ain't seen nothing yet. So Derek Chauvin is currently rotting in a prison cell. George Floyd's family got $27 million from the state of Minneapolis. Well, now apparently the city of Minneapolis is now setting the precedent of, if you just cry, kneel on my neck, we'll cut you a check. Minneapolis is going to pay $600,000 to a woman who says Derek Chauvin knelt on her back. It's actually his wife. She complained about it during sex. But like, this city has no fucking backbone to stand up for itself. It bent over for George Floyd, gave his family $27 million when we can prove there's medical and scientific evidence that shows Derek Chauvin did not kill George Floyd. It's not even a myth anymore. I think everybody kind of knows it. He did not send, he did not kill George Floyd. George Floyd had heart problems. George Floyd was geeked on fentanyl and methamphetamine. Deadly amounts of both in his system. And nowhere Derek Chauvin was on George Floyd's body was lethal. None of it. It was lethal if you're having a fucking heart attack and you're geeking out on fent. Then yeah, holding his hand would have been lethal. So Minneapolis pays out $27 million as if George Floyd's family missed out on that many earnings from him being gone. So now all this woman has to say is, oh yeah, Derek Chauvin knelt on my back once. Here's $500,000. Take it. Are you going to stand up for yourself ever? Are you going to call bullshit on anything? Patty Day, formerly employed by the Public Works Department, claimed in a lawsuit filed last May that she was the victim of excessive force and a wrongful arrest. She acknowledged that she was drunk on the evening of January 17th, 2020, and depressed over her impending divorce and other difficulties, and she got stuck in the snow for several hours. Oh, yeah, and I'm sure that Derek Chauvin just pulled her out of the car and just going, yeah, how does that feel, bitch? I'm sure that's exactly what happened. Oh, by the way, took this woman a few years to come forward. So this happened 4 or 5 months before the George Floyd stuff, but she didn't come forward with it for a few years. Oh, okay. Well, then that's how you know she's telling the truth. She acknowledged she was drunk. Chauvin and his partner that night, Officer Ellen Jensen. Wait a minute. Shouldn't she be thrown in jail too? Isn't that what happened to all of Chauvin's guys he was working with, whether they did anything or not? They all got thrown out too. They arrived on the scene. The lawsuit alleged that the officers violently yanked Day from her vehicle and threw her to the pavement, causing several injuries. Now, remember, I'm sure that this mentally unstable drunk lady was being totally cooperative with the police. Chauvin then assumed his signature pose. Oh, fuck off. Fuck off with signature pose. Like he's giving him a big boot and a leg drop and going, Jesus Christ, I can't take this bullshit, dude. Was Derek Chauvin kind of a cunt? Yeah, he was kind of a cunt. Was he a bit of a white boy cop on a power trip? Yeah, bit of a white boy cop on a power trip. Did he kill George Floyd? No. And now what? We're giving someone $600,000 because she was a lush during her divorce and wouldn't listen to the cops when she was driving drunk and putting people's fucking lives in danger? Why not? We gave a fent junkie $27 million for driving around in a car, putting other people's lives in danger. Why not? City of Minneapolis. Great place. Great place. Chauvin then assumed his signature pose. I hope he did this while he was doing it. Pressing his knee into the subdued and handcuffed Patty's back. Wait, I thought it was neck. I thought he knelt on people's necks, not their backs. And maybe their pussies and their cracks. Who knows at this point? The man's clearly insane. Just as he would do later to snuff the life out of George Floyd. Oh, fucking gag me. And remaining that way well after Patty was controlled. A drunken driving charge was later dropped after a judge ruled that the officers lacked probable cause to arrest her and suppressed the blood alcohol test evidence. I will say sometimes testimony and evidence does get thrown out of certain cases when people finally inform say lawyers that they are not going to cooperate. It does happen. The Minneapolis City Council unanimously approved the $600,000 settlement Thursday. Why wouldn't they? Council member Latricia Vitaw told her colleagues that $175,000. Oh, listen to this. Of the $600,000 that they're paying out, $175,000 will go to Day, the woman who was knelt on. $425,000 will go to her lawyers. Anybody want to bet? I don't even want to look it up because I just don't want to get that mad. Those lawyers have definitely contributed to the city council campaigns of everybody on that council, or at least a few of them. Because this wasn't the city of Minneapolis going, oh, you poor lady. Let us give you money for your time and trouble while you were drunk driving, putting lives in danger. If anything, Derek Chauvin did his best to keep people safe that day. But they're not saying, let's give $600,000 to you, you poor lady, as an I'm sorry. This was the Minneapolis City Council cutting a check to a bunch of lawyers who probably helped pay their campaigns. The city has now paid over $36 million to settle police misconduct cases, including Chauvin. Yeah, that was your choice to do that. While no settlement can undo what Patty endured. Oh, fuck you, what Patty endured. She was drunk driving. We are grateful to have reached an agreement that holds the officers accountable for their actions. Yeah, I mean, Derek Chauvin definitely hasn't been held accountable for his actions. I mean, Jesus Christ. He's in jail for a life he didn't take. Again, Derek Chauvin's a prick. Derek Chauvin probably doesn't have great bedside manner as a police officer. He's kind of a twat. But he didn't kill George Floyd. Jesus Christ. $425,000 of the $600,000 went to the lawyers. Can't make it up. Can't. His signature pose. Turd Burglar says his finishing move is sweet. Yeah, nobody's gotten out of it yet. It's like the crippler crossface. Oh, man. Yeah, Sam Show says just make up a story and voila. Yeah, your lawyers can get rich. It's perfect. Derek, it's just not enough for them, is it? Like they really got to ice this Chauvin thing. You know? They've already thrown him in jail for the rest of his natural life, and now they're like, oh, yeah, you remember Derek Chauvin? A piece of shit. Here's $600,000. Well, not $600,000. Here's $425,000 for your attorneys. One person texting in, Aaron, you got divorced twice. Could you handle either divorce without needing a cop to kneel on you? Better than her. I didn't need a cop to kneel on my neck. That's true. That is very accurate. You guys are fucking dumb. That was funny. Yeah, Chevy fan says he kneeled on her back, but she lived. Huh. Interesting. All right, guys, we got about $1.60 left today. Knock it out. I know it's cunty, but dude, it's for steel-toe derangement syndrome. It's an extra $1.60 for steel-toe derangement syndrome. It's very, very important. Did you see, by the way, that speaking of Minnesota, Ilhan Omar is giving Somalis that are here illegally advice on how to avoid ICE raids? It's unfucking believable. You just get to do this shit. Meanwhile, if a Republican goes, I want to go into this business and root out all the illegals and deport them, you are an absolute Nazi. I'd like to help you break the law by hiding you from proper adjudication. Oh, what a hero. She's a really great person. Now, Ilhan Omar is saying that this video was doctored, that it was falsely edited. It really shouldn't happen, or it's really not happening. She's not giving anyone advice on how to give ICE the slip or anything like that. But I have a hard time believing it because Ilhan Omar has said numerous times that she is Somalia first and America second. That she fights for the Somali people first and the American people second. So let's, she's for the diaspora, if you will. Let's take a look-see. Let's take a listen as to how Ilhan Omar helps illegals avoid ICE.
xildhibaanad Ilhan Omar oo dhowaan la hadashay saxaafadda ayaa
Advise
talabixin
people
siisay
living in the country illegally.
ee ku nool dalkan.
I advise the Somalian people that if ICE attempts to question you, you are not obligated to answer their questions. Just state that you were advised by a lawyer not to answer questions. I mean, that's not against the rules. You're allowed to do that. Disclosure of your name, immigration status, and the mode of entry is not mandatory. Learn the laws and prepare yourself. And refrain from disclosing information that you would prefer them not know. I actually don't think that's that bad. And she's basically saying, like, look, don't talk to them without a lawyer present. Don't talk to any government officials without the lawyer being there. I get that. I understand it. Look, I'd love to shit on Ilhan Omar. I'd love to talk about what she's a piece of shit. Oh, what a fucking asshole. Blah, blah. That's not that bad. You can't. Here's the thing. It's really important not to over criticize these people when they don't deserve it, because it'll make your criticism more valid when you do have something to critique them for. This idea that every time she opens her mouth, we have to go, look at this piece of shit. That wasn't that terrible. I guess Elon and a bunch of people on Twitter were losing their shit about that. That's not that terrible. She's just telling people, look, don't give people your name, your immigration status, your this and that. Because, they will come to you and pretend to be your pal. Oh, yeah, I can totally help you. Why don't you give me this information? Oh, man, if they can help me. I mean, dealing with the cops is not that different than dealing with online phone scammers. The only thing is the police are allowed to run a scam on you. They're legally allowed to run a scam on you. They operate very much the same way that people trying to get you money for your grandson that's gone to prison gets money out of you. Zenman Builds with $2 says, deport Ilhan. She cheated the system and married her brother, allegedly. That is a fucked up story, too. Whether or not she really did marry her brother. I mean, everything I've seen regarding that whole deal, it does seem like she married her brother. I know some people tiptoe around that because saying somebody married their brother is super fucked up, but it does seem like it. Hey, Paul Hayward with $3 over on PayPal. Guess what that means, boys and girls?
But I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Steel-toe derangement syndrome research is fully funded for today. It's another win for the toe. Even with our internet crashing out today, we still knock out the goal well in advance. No begging, no nothing. Steel-toe derangement syndrome is alive and well this morning. Take your medicine, kids. Take your medicine.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Cause they love him in London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland and Canada and Mexico. They say, I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Ah, wonderful. I don't want to. My plan was to go back to the gym today. I'm cleared to go sparring and everything else. We're working on my opponent for the 22nd. I'm worried that that's not going to come together. I did talk to the appeals people yesterday. That's just about taken care of. I was told that we should be good for the 22nd, so that's nice. But it doesn't matter if I'm going to be license-wise good for the 22nd. My opponent, we seem to have some hang-ups with my opponent for the 22nd. But I'm returning back to the ring today after a couple weeks off from being sick. I just have that feeling that I'm going to get my ass kicked today. I definitely don't feel 100%. My weight's the same, but I feel soggier. It's a soggier weight. My cardio doesn't feel like it's very good. It's one of those days where you're like, man, maybe it would be wise to take an extra day and, come back tomorrow. But you also have that that part of you that goes, well, now you're being kind of a bitch. You're being kind of a pussy. I don't want to be a pussy. But it's that fine line you have to draw between what's being a pussy and what's making sure you're not sick for longer. Somebody writes, who gets sick and doesn't lose weight? Yeah. And then Das Optic Nerve writes, that guy. Thanks. Appreciate it. Dead Game says, Aaron, y'all go all out or on points? Sparring, I would say on sparring we go 80%. 90, probably about 75, 80%. Only because you got 18-ounce gloves on, so it's not like you're fucking hammering each other, So, you're not going all out. You're not trying to, if you wobble a guy in sparring, you back off. You just make sure you good. You okay? You get stung a little bit. They don't it's not like a professional bout where, they wobble and you just go in there and start swinging away. You're working on shit. But the punches you're throwing hot punches. I mean, because it's the only way you're going to learn. But you're not trying to kill each other in there. Zen Man Builds with $1 says that song is a lie, by the way. I just said his name out loud in my office, and Joe Hendry did not appear. You don't know. Could have been in spirit. Sam Show says, you're one of those guys that microwaves pizza rolls. All right, look, I need to respond to that. This is important for me to discuss. I used to microwave pizza rolls, but my baby, my sweet angel, got me a Ninja Foodie. It's an air fryer / oven thing. It's incredible. It makes my pizza rolls in 5 minutes. It preheats in 30 seconds. It's incredible. In fact, I think I might clean it today. Keep that thing nice. And so now I make my pizza rolls in those. That, by the way, if you're wondering why I got sick and didn't lose weight, it's because I didn't feel like going out grocery shopping. So I didn't have a lot of fresh food. SP did some, she ordered some stuff and had it sent over to me, some soup and stuff like that. That was helpful. But I got a little bready, a little pizza rolly. I may or may not have ordered some Domino's while I was sick, enough to have leftovers. So, yeah. I didn't gain weight while I was sick. I stayed 223. It's just that over the last week and a half, I was supposed to come down another 2-3 pounds, and clearly I didn't. Das Optic Nerve says she get you a hair fryer to fix whatever that shit is on your head. How is that helpful? Let me ask you. How is that helpful? Everything you guys throw in for the rest of the show goes towards tomorrow morning. Thank you very much for your generosity, as it were. Hey guys, I have some announcements to make. I want to plug the Steel Toe shop for just a second here. I'm going to pin it in both of the pages, YouTube and Rumble. There you go. There's the show store link. It's in the chat. Johnny put some stuff up there yesterday. Johnny's got some new shirts. Obviously, we've got the plain Steel Toe logo t-shirt and hoodie. Logo looks good. We got the Save Gordy t-shirt and hoodie. I think we might do a Steel Toe derangement syndrome shirt soon, another win for the toe, and maybe a Toe Hendry shirt coming up. But Johnny made himself a little shirt. Let's take a look here. I don't know. I wish we could zoom better than that. Oh, well. Go back. Let's click on it. There we go. It's the JEMM, Johnny's Exotic Meat Market, home of the cuck ham for when you'd rather watch them eat. That's actually a fucking good shirt. You can get that at the link in the chat. You can also get your steel toe gear. I just want to let you guys know, every shirt Johnny sells, he gets the entire profit from it. I don't take points on Johnny's merch. So go ahead. The new Johnny's Exotic Meat Market, home of the cuck ham for when you'd rather watch them eat. There it is. It comes in lemon yellow. Uh-oh. Why can't I see the other colors? Show me the other colors, John. Well, fuck me to death, huh? There you go. Oh, there it is in gray. There it is in red. That's Johnny's color. There it is in blue and what? You know what? I might get the white one. The cuck ham. Can you wear that out in public? The home of the cuck ham? That is a fun shirt to wear, though, because that's one people will definitely ask you about. They'll be like, what the fuck does that mean? You're like, oh, there's this guy. He co-hosts a podcast. It's called Steel Toe. And he has a side business, though, where he murders exotic animals and makes meat out of them. I'm not sure it's totally legal. I noticed he hasn't made the gorilla shirts yet, though. The gorilla milking shirts. That's when we'll know he's really got balls. There's the Steel Toe plain logo t-shirt in a few different colors. Same with the hoodie. And then you got the Save Gordy hoodie in white and black. That white actually looks kind of good. I don't hate that Save Gordy hoodie in white. Shit, dude. Get yourself a white Steel Toe hoodie. That stands out nice. Then you got the Save Gordy t-shirt in all the different colors. Ooh, I don't like that blue. Purple looks all right. I don't like the gray. White looks really good on this one. And then you got the Steel Toe mug. I'm not a coffee guy, but coffee people like their like angry, haven't had my coffee yet slogans. So I went with what do you want in all caps. I don't know dickhead coffee culture. So I did my best. There you go, guys. There's the links in the chat to the Steel Toe shop. Go on in there and make your selection. And remember, everything you buy of Johnny's goes to him. Hey, do you guys know about labia puffing? Just wondering. All right, cool. Moving on with the show. Labia puffing is something I read about in the New York Post yesterday. It's real. It's a new cosmetic trend. And apparently the women who have had it done really, really like it because they're all just stupid, vain beasts. And there's so much shit that they think they're doing for us that we don't notice. And like they get mad that we don't notice. Like labia puffing. Where you can puff up. What like when I think of labia puffing, I think like you're putting like a tire pump in your pussy and you're just puffing up your pussy lips. Like what? Why? Women are getting their labia puffed, a procedure that involves injecting dermal filler or transferring fat into their labia majora to restore plumpness, and that doctors claims could soon become as ubiquitous as boob jobs. So we're just injecting shit into our pussies to make them puffier. Now, you know what? Fuck it. Doesn't sound like a waste of money at all, girls. Go ahead. One day it's going to be a household type of thing where we talk about it the way we talk about breast implants. Labia puffing. Following on the heels of the labiaplasty popularity, the cosmetic procedure is meant to make the labia majora, the outermost part of the vulva, all right, what is it, fucking health class, more plump and youthful, she explained. Pussies get older. It fucking happens. Jesus Christ. I'm starting to worry that men have just made women completely mentally ill. I really am worried that we've damaged these poor creatures beyond repair. Because they don't do this shit for them. They do it because a guy said something You know, a boyfriend, a husband, somebody made some kind of crack, and now they're like, oh my God, does he not love me anymore? Do I not look right? What am I going to do? I don't believe that this is a woman-only thing. I don't believe that women made this a thing on their own. Somebody browbeat them into it. Labia. Hey, babe, would you like my labia to be more puffy? I don't fucking care. Sam Show says most of this shit isn't stuff we ask for. No. Sam Show says she has vagine like sleeve of wizard. Like, doesn't mean we put a fucking bike tire in it and. Dive Bar says right before cunnilingus, I say, did you get your lady A puffed? Turd Burglar says, big sloppy flappers. I love them. God. Hold on. Dive Bar says, and also, we don't care. No. Yeah, Chevy fan, like, what are you going to do? Date a girl and go, oh, girl, you got a skinny pussy. I'm sorry, if you're a dude and you care that much, you're fucking gay. I'm sorry. You're just gay. You're too into the cosmetics of incidental things. Boob jobs, I get. You know, great looking tits, absolutely. No guy has ever made or broken a situation in a bar or in a social situation picking up a girl because her, it's not like he reached down and he went, it's feeling a little flat down. I don't feel a lot of puffiness. You know what? I'm not interested. She's not good breeding metal. Like, tits have made her. A guy will look at a girl and be, not for me. I'm a tit guy. You know, so I get that. But labia puffiness? Dude. Chips and Diff says, women are mental. Guys get called assholes all the time. We don't change. We continue being assholes. Well, I don't know if that's really the message we want to put forward. Hey, men get criticized in valid ways, and we never change our behavior. Maybe once in a while you should. Once in a while. Coltrane says they all seem to be all about the camel toe now, too. They even make underwear to make it more prominent. Yeah, there was a time where like a snug little pussy was what people wanted. And they would see the camel toe and they were like, what's that thing going to do? Fucking eat my hand? Like there was like the world goes in peaks and valleys, you know? We read an article from like 8 years ago where they're like, small tits are in now. And they're talking about like Taylor Swift and Miley Cyrus. And it's like, bro, that shit comes back around. That shit comes back around. McBuster says, I don't hate it, but I'm not a faggot, though. Like, exactly. Yeah, Chips and Diff. What are you supposed to do when you get your labia puffing done? Is a guy supposed to go, wow, that's a deep, cavernous pussy you got there? That's really... It's just getting to be a bit much. Coltrane, that is not very nice. And it doesn't matter what I say. If I say that that's just a rumor the internet created, no one's going to believe me anyway. People just, if I try, that's how you know I'm telling the truth. Is that I'll say things about people that, you know, may be pieces of shit to me that, you know, but I'm still going to be honest about certain things. And if someone says something that's utterly humiliating and I go, yeah, that person's insane and they're making shit up because they're mentally broken by me, you can take that to the bank too. But no, the messed up pussy Summer's Eve thing, it's not, I mean, no, you know what? I've already said too much. I've already said too much. You know what? Recenter me.
I believe in Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is so prestigious. Wave your hands from side to side and say.
There we go. Now I feel better. Now I'm in a better spot. All right, let's get back into it here. I wish we wouldn't have gotten into labia puffing. Let's just I wish I didn't know it existed. Pump up your labia, I guess. Like, because like if you're 25, you shouldn't have it done because you're still young and, you know. And if you're like in your 40s or 50s, it's like, let it go. We'll still fuck it. And if you've got a partner and they're browbeating you about it, guess what? You're with a piece of shit and you should probably get out of there. All right, let's go to this Megyn Kelly clip. This is somebody vocalizing something I've been saying ever since Donald Trump picked RFK Jr. to be Health and Human Services Secretary. I have never seen a group of people betray their... What the fuck happened? I just realized that when I went over to... Did the kids... So the kids have been doing this thing. Guys, can you give me 1 second? I got to check on something. I think the kids might have pulled a dirty move down here in the basement. They sure as fuck did. Oh, man. So, the kids have been doing this project in the crawl space where they've been hanging photos and they've been hanging, like, decorations and stuff because they're making, like, a really cool fort house down there. It's actually really awesome. And, like, usually when they run out of framing nails, I go get them more out of the garage, you know? They're like, Dad, we're out of nails. And I just grab a handful, hand them to them. And I be careful. Don't, hammer your thumb, shit like that. Apparently, there was a day where either I wasn't moving fast enough or they didn't feel like making the trip upstairs to ask me. They let me grab this for you. They just started pulling nails out of the wall down here where shit was hanging. So, like, where things were hanging, they just took nails out of the wall. And here, I'm gonna show you. I had this hanging up above, not the couch, the love seat down in the basement outside the studio here. I had it hanging up. It is a inaugural opening day at Target Field painting. Picture, whatever. Is this a painting or a picture? It's a picture. It's a picture of opening day at Target Field. And I have it hanging up down in my basement over the love. I just noticed right now, I went and checked the wall. They pulled the fucking nail out of the wall so they could use it in their little crawl space experiment. Son of a bitch. Maybe I'll have to find a spot for this up here. Maybe I'll have to hang that up somewhere here in the studio. I can't believe I missed that. I just looked over. I saw it laying on the love seat. I'm like, when the shit did that happen? And I'm like, no way. I bet you it just fell down. It's like, well, it's been up there for 6 years. There's no way it just fell down. Sure as shit. They pulled the nail out of there and just took it. It's a print, you goof. Print, picture, whatever. Yeah, Sam Show says, fuck you, Dad, you fat fuck. Right? Bigot on Socialist Media says Aaron's kids are in trouble. Yeah, I'm kind of a pushover on that kind of stuff. All right, Coltrane says, motherfucker, I paid for that comment to be read. All right. The ex of Summer's Eve girl is clearly not bothered by messed up pussy. All right, there you go. There you go. Approachable says, so you're saying they repurposed the nail where the wedding photos used to hang? No, those were upstairs. I got one of those pictures has been replaced by a really Keno Happy Gilmore Shooter McGavin picture. The rest are really nice pictures of the kids. They look a lot happier now. Weird. Eaton Clam says the kids have a string board connecting the international Zionist conspiracy in the crawl space. No, my kids do not have Jewish conspiracy string things in the crawl space. MN Gal says Gordy has to hide in the crawl space to avoid deportation. All of these are rumors. All of these are rumors. Did you win that in the silent auction at the truck stop? No, I think I got that as a gift from my first wife or her family, one of the two. I think I got that as a gift. I thought you might like it. It's a gift. Sam Show says, oh, you know what happened? You were sick and they took advantage. Motherfucker. Chevy fan says, you have pictures of children on your wall? What the fuck, pedo? I mean, technically, he's right. I do have pictures of kids on my walls. I mean, they're my kids, but I guess, you know what? Technically speaking, he got me. He got me. All right, let's go to this Megyn Kelly thing. It's her talking about RFK Jr. Like, the Democrats turning on him is so clearly just a Trump thing because everything RFK Jr. stands for is shit that, like, 8 years ago, Democrats all stood for. Skepticism about medicine, exploring alternatives, Americans need to get healthier, cheaper ways to, getting healthy so it's cheaper to have health insurance, all of that stuff. And now they're against it. Now RFK Jr.'s in there, and they're just slaves to the pharmaceutical companies. $5 from Timothy. He says, hey, maybe this Patrick Melton could finally date someone older than 14, allegedly. Allegedly. I mean, at least someone with the mental capacity over. Well, that's never mind. Never mind. I don't want to give someone more of a mental breakdown than I already have. Try yelling more about how you're not having a mental breakdown while denying it. It is a great look for all of us, I got to say. We have a good time. I think he is case A. I think Patrick might be patient 0 for steel-toed derangement syndrome. I would say he has Aaron Imholt derangement syndrome, but he's way too fat for AIDS. Here's Megyn Kelly talking about RFK Jr. Let's take a look.
Would you spend 2 seconds looking at the way we eat, the way we treat patients who get...
I'm starting to feel like she's talking directly at me, and that's unnerving. By the way, 50-some years old, just a fucking boner, dude. I mean, she is. There's something about how angry she is, too, that gets me. I'm a guy who likes a good, righteously angry broad. I don't like a crazy angry broad. I like an intelligent, smart, righteous indignation gal. That's like Megyn Kelly's got the kind of anger that I'm into.
Get disease, who get obese, who we funnel through a lifetime of pharmaceuticals and additional medical procedures.
Hey. Elizabeth Warren's going to get really mad at you. She took a lot of money from those pharmaceutical companies. They're fine and they do great work. Did we ever go through the clip of RFK Jr. just completely sunning Bernie Sanders on how much money he takes from pharmaceutical companies? Oh, my God, did he have him go, no. We have to watch that. I don't think we ever watched that on the show last week.
Without pausing to say, what's making you ill? Why do children have...
What's making me ill? The bars I spit in the streets? Anytime I make a really shitty joke like that and you see me cut from the video, I'm going to read the chat to see if anybody else thought that was fun. See what makes it. Sam Show just writes, I hate you. Oh, man. What? She asked what makes me ill. The bars I spit in the streets I've heard do make me ill. Coltrane with $1. Toss Optic Nerve just writes, oof. Coltrane with a buck says they knew he wouldn't be able to put it back up since he can't use tools. Suck it. Toad Climbs Mountain says, great pause screen. Oh, really? What's she? Oh, you pervert. Come on. I'm looking. You know what?
Autism.
That really was the perfect pause screen. Hold on, go back.
Autism.
Hey, what is it that draws people to this show?
Autism.
Oh, well, that works too. What is it that draws people to Steel Toe?
Autism.
Oh. How would you explain me playing this 30 times in a row?
Autism.
Oh, okay. What is it that causes me to be successful in hitting the goal every day?
Autism.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. What is it that makes people with steel-toe derangement syndrome not be able to admit they love me and that I'm their absolute favorite?
And have autism.
Oh, okay. It's so stupid. You know what? You know why? I don't know if it's why I like SP or if it's why I like Megyn Kelly. But like SP is going to look like Megyn Kelly when she's Megyn Kelly's age. You give Megyn Kelly dark hair. Whew, that's why. That's why my engine's so fucking revved over Megyn Kelly. She's fucking blonde SP. That's what it is.
Have autism now at a 1 in 30 rate as opposed to 1 in 10,000 30 years ago. Why do children have so many allergies? Why are children getting ADHD in record numbers? Why are children...
Sam Show, you want to take this one? I believe you have the same answer for each one of them. Go ahead. I'm going to feel you through the universe. Okay. Yep, I thought so.
Children suffering from ticks. Why are all these children...
Oh, my God. We need to be going through their hair with a fine-tooth comb. Why do these children have so many ticks? What is this, fucking Somalia? Come on, guys.
Why are all these children getting Tourette's? We're just not supposed to ask those questions. We're just supposed to go about our business and...
You really think, like, with so many kids having so many, like, debilitating illnesses at higher rates than ever before, you know, if we ran a halfway decent country, we would answer those before we moved on to anything else. Like, why are our kids more fucked up? Why don't we just start pulling shit out of our food and drug supply until it stops? Like, we'll just keep yanking shit out of production. And then as soon as those numbers start going down, we'll go, oh, apparently it was that, and that.
Consume all the dyes and the chemicals in our food that's not in the Europeans. Eat the pasta that has the wheat that's been sprayed with this toxic chemical as a pesticide.
We taking down Monsanto, bro? Is that what we're doing? Are we strapping up? Are we suiting up to take down Monsanto? I'm ready. Or no, what is it, Bayer now? Who is it? Who's the big dog? One of them got sold.
Ignore the farmers who are dying from cancer from the pesticides potentially that they're spraying.
That's true.
You know, all that should be looked into, should it not? Is it not fair to actually kick the tires on public health?
Here's the problem. All of our health and human services secretaries have either been bribed or employed by people who are bribed by the drug companies, by the insurance companies, by the pesticide companies to purposely not look into these things. The reason RFK Jr. is so controversial is because he might finally accidentally or on purpose answer some of these questions, and it's going to upset a lot of people, and there's going to be some, you know, you might create some Luigis with the answers we get.
And figure out whether not only have we just accepted living this way, which is totally unhealthy, I mean, literally unhealthy, making us sick, but it's being pushed on it. It is an active part of the game for too many of these industries. Do you think Big Pharma wants us all to get better like that?
No, they want to sell pills. They want to sell pills. They want to, you know, it's unfortunately where we have to decide, but, you know, in our health, when it comes to our health industry, we have to decide between capitalism and good health, because capitalism would tell the drug companies people should stay sick so they can keep selling drugs so their profits can go up from the last quarter so the stock price can go up. I mean, I'm as big a capitalism guy as you'll ever see, but I don't know if capitalism belongs in the health industry. You know, I don't know if profit is the most important thing when it comes to health. Eaton Clam says, why is so much stage 4 cancer showing up? Do we have higher rates of stage 4 cancer in people younger and younger? Because I know one of my best friends, I guess not best friend's wife, they're both been my best friends since, some of my best friends since high school. She ended up with stage 4 cancer. She's 37 years old. Like that. I mean, I know it's a bitch and it can happen to anybody, and it, it's a twisted hand of fate and all that. But like at the same time, it just doesn't seem like our stage 4 cancer rates up. Come on. Yes, the COVID-19 pandemic caused a rise in stage 4 cancer diagnosis. Isn't that? That's not what I was asking. Over time. While overall cancer death rates are declining due to early detection, the rate of stage 4 cancers, particularly in younger populations, seems to be increasing in the United States, meaning more cancers are being diagnosed at a later, more advanced stage. Yeah, let's please find out why. Are we eating cancer chemicals in the food that the produce and shit have been treated with? It's interesting. Atomic Ray says, fuck off. Health is only about one thing, early detection. Yankee says, Pfizer has never cured anything. Bigot on Socialist Media says, then vaccine caused it to rise. Oh, that's an interesting point. Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. What if since COVID, we've seen an increase? Interesting. Chernobog says the last disease officially eradicated was smallpox in 1980. Yeah, dude, we haven't even killed leprosy yet. Is leprosy still around? Yes, leprosy, also known as Hansen's disease, still exists today, although it is considered rare and treatable, and most cases are found in Asia and Africa. The World Health Organization reports around 200,000 new cases each year of leprosy. Is TB still around? Tuberculosis is a prevalent disease worldwide, so we've still got consumption. 8.2 million people have it. Oh, no, I'm sorry. An estimated 8.2 million people were newly diagnosed in 2023, and it remains the leading infectious disease killer. Great. We haven't had TB be an issue here since the old dusty trail. Will you thee, baby? What's the other one? Bubonic plague. That's still around, right? We haven't killed that. Plague you. Yes, bubonic plague is still present in the world today. It is a rare but persistent disease that occurs in certain regions of, survey says, Africa. Thank you, Dark Continent. We love you. Good night. Asia and the western United States. The plague is caused by the bacterium Yersinia hall. Yersinia pestis, which is typically transmitted to humans through the bite of infected fleas. So you're getting fleas. Good job. Cases are most common in rural areas where rodents are abundant and fleas are present. So yeah, we haven't really fixed anything. Still got polio's still around. Smallpox. So we got rid of smallpox. Last disease cured. Smallpox is the only disease that has been completely eradicated from humans. May 8th, 1980. Fucking crushing it, guys. We're crushing it medically. Oh, boy. Well, the link to the Steel Toe store is up in the chat. How's that for business? Go check it out. Thank you guys for knocking out the goal so early today. We appreciate it. I don't know if I want to do this Cynthia Nixon clip. Have you guys seen this? Yeah, have you seen this? Have you heard about this? This Cynthia Nixon clip where she talks about, I see, it's going to make me mad. Why don't I get it over with? You know what? Why don't I have a piece of real Robertson's beef jerky while we get this clip over with? So we've talked about this a lot on the show about how, this idea that, transness, especially in kids, that it's laughable, that it's anything other than the parents enabling and pushing it on children, because children don't have the ability to choose something like that. And that there's not some gene or some illness or anything like that. It's just the kid comes home one day, I want to wear a dress, and then the mom just starts pushing them towards the cross-dressing and the transness and everything else. And I'll tell you how we know that. We know that because it's never the kid who's the most adamant about it. It's always the parent that's the most adamant about it. And wouldn't you know, a lot of these parents end up happening to have multiple kids who are trans. What are the odds? This is Cynthia Nixon, the crazy redhead bitch from Sex and the City, and she's going to talk about trans rights, which is nothing more than white women protecting their new pink poodle in their purse as a way for them by Munchausen by proxy syndrome to get attention. I mean, I don't see much of a difference. I certainly don't see a difference in level of harm between mothers who convince their children they have cancer so that the mom can get sympathy for taking care of a kid with cancer, and the moms who claim that their children are trans so that they can get attention for being a heroic mother of a trans child. This is Cynthia Nixon giving a speech. This makes my blood boil.
Most importantly, I am here today as the mother of a proud trans man.
Yay, I cut off my daughter's tits when she was too young to make such a permanent decision. Go me! Fucking liberalism is a mind virus in that city.
I am here today as the aunt of a proud trans man.
Weird. You mean your sister, who's probably also a crazy lefty, also has a trans kid? Well, I mean, what are the odds? I mean, mathematically, probably like 1 in 100 million, but cool.
My best friend's kid is trans, and my kid's best friend is trans.
Fucking hell. Yay, let's applaud a kid who's going to have a lifetime of struggles because a bunch of adults led him down the wrong path and convinced them they were something that they would have grown out of naturally. Fuck. I mean, we're applauding Sodom and Gomorrah at this point. I'm not even a religious guy. We're just applauding the moral downfall and decay of this country. Adults abusing children. And we just gather a bunch of mentally ill people in public and they cheer for it. Stop hurting kids. Period. End of story.
My wife and I, our lives are filled with the most amazing, beautiful, brave, trans people, young and old, but as
weird. So, a member of the LGBT community ended up with a kid who's a member of the LGBTQ community, and then has a bunch of friends and insulates and surround themselves with other members of the LGBTQ community. Interesting. Did you all breed that way, or did you all just recruit? I'll wait.
Especially young. My trans kid had his top surgery at NYU a number of years ago.
Fucking hell. Cut off their tits at a young age. Why? To be what mommy was proud of. That's what kids do. Kids don't do shit because they're at 10, 11, 12 years old. They're sure what they want for the rest of their lives. We would have way more ballerinas, firefighters, and astronauts. They do it because mom and dad give them positive reinforcement. They want to make their mom and dad happy. And mom and dad clearly show their approval when they start wearing start wearing boys' clothes and pretending to be boys.
His doctors were fantastic. His surgeon was the best we could have imagined.
Yeah, Dr. Mengele. He was, oh yeah, just great. It's awesome. What's the difference? What's the difference between what these doctors are doing and what Joseph Mengele did? Please. They're butchering and experimenting on children. And not only do the kids do it because the parents smile and it makes mom and dad happy, so they keep doing it and feeding this, positive feedback loop, but then the parents get in there and actively encourage the kid to do more. This is not some authentic, organic thing that happens. This is fostered and encouraged and facilitated by adults towards children. It's abusive.
And the idea that this city is filled with young people who thought they had a place to go where they could receive the highest care, and that place has now been shut to them, sickens me.
Good. Hey, Cynthia, why do you get to stand there on a soapbox and talk about all these instances where a top surgery happened because you talked your kid into it? Why don't we ever get to talk about, why don't you ever give a voice to the people who get these operations done, regret them, or people who have these operations done and become racked with depression and harm themselves? Why don't you ever give a voice to those people? They count too. And there's a fuckload of them. Like, if you're being serious about the issue, you'd give a voice to everyone. If you're being a propagandist recruiting for a cause, then you'd silence those voices and just have these certain ones presented.
Sickens me to my core. So I want to say the last 2 weeks have been an assault, a barrage, so many horrific things coming at us from every direction.
To you! You're the parent. It didn't even fucking happen to you. You just encouraged it, facilitated, and molded this young mind to believe they were that thing before they got to an age where they could make a decision for themselves. And you're still the one sitting here boasting about it. It is, was, and always will be about you. You sacrifice the lives of innocent children so that you can feed an agenda. You're disgusting. If someone is 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 years old, and they decide, I've been living my life the wrong way, I want to live it another way, nobody can stop you. Go ahead, do what you want. But to have a child, and for you to steer a child down a path of gender X, gender Y, whatever, it's evil. You're manipulating the vulnerable mind of a child that you've been tasked with guiding and leading. And why? Because you're LGBTQ and you don't want to be alone. Ugh. What if that girl of yours would have grown up to be a beautiful female heterosexual who found a nice boyfriend and a nice man and married him and had a nuclear family and everything else? You wouldn't be as happy. You wouldn't. It's if a man pushes his son to play sports, it's considered toxic. But if Cynthia Nixon pushes her kid to mutilate herself, it's called heroic. We live in dark times, and we need to change the way we behave.
You don't even know where to look or how to try and block the horror that is coming in our direction. But since the inauguration, and I would say actually since the election, nothing has made me feel so good as coming around the corner today and seeing you all standing here fighting for trans rights. It's so hard to know. We're being attacked on so many fronts.
You're not being attacked. You've been given everything. Every culture that came before ours treated what you do as sideshow freak craziness. We have bent over backwards to your every whim, even when it doesn't make any sense. And what do? You bitch at us. We're still not doing enough. It's exhausting. By the way, this is the first. Matt Walsh and I don't agree. Well, I think Matt Walsh and I agree on stuff. I don't match his his like aggressiveness on a lot of shit. He kind of rubs me the wrong way. But he writes, actress brags about having her daughter's breasts removed. People like this can never let go of the trans agenda. She's committed to it for life. If she ever let it go, she'd have to admit that she horrifically abused and mutilated her own child. Correct. There's no other explanation. There's no other classification of what she's done. Grand Poobah with $5 says, what are we going to do in a few decades when there's trans people with dementia in nursing home freaking out on a daily basis? I don't know. Somebody said that a Steel Toe fan called into Jay Caldwell's show on WJON yesterday and said, what do you think of the Steel Toe morning show? And he said, I think it's an evil, hateful show and blah, blah, blah. We missed our chance to call into his show this morning. I think tomorrow we should call into old Jay Caldwell, and I should talk to him. I think I should give old Jay a call. It is amazing. You know, I've talked to radio people in this area. When we talk about bringing Steel Toe back, they say the same thing. They go, it's amazing. You've been gone as long as you have. Everyone in radio still talks about you, and the audiences still talk about you. Like, Steel Toe is still, like, everyone has an opinion. They're like, I've never seen it before in radio. And that's not me bragging. That's just a fact. And it means a lot. It's really cool. And to hear a guy like Jay Caldwell, who does a dry morning news thing on an old people's news talker, hear that the fact that Steel Toe fans called into his show and asked him a Steel Toe question, I thought that was awesome. But then for him to have such a passionate response, I think he's evil and hateful, and it still bends them out of shape. I love it. We should call in tomorrow, and I should just tell Jay. I should say, I'm coming. Well, no, you know what? Let's not start. Let's not start with that. That's not what I meant. I say, I'm coming back, and I'm coming for you guys. No, God damn it. That's not, maybe I'll work on it in the mirror. Maybe I won't, ad-lib it, perhaps. Perhaps maybe I should,
And if you don't think I'm big enough, brother, then you grab a hold of me, and you'll know that I'm growing, my man. Within your hands, I will get as big as I need to be to do the job on you. Now, it doesn't take a very big snake to do the job.
You succeeded.
That's not what I see. That's not what I meant.
Seth Rollins, I'm coming for you, boy. And I'm coming hard.
No, see, that's not that. It was meant to sound tougher than that. That's not what I meant to say. That was damn it.
Thank you. I don't care. You come in my face, I'm going to fight you.
It's actually a good rule. Because, eventually you fight enough people, they'll stop doing that to you. They'll get the message.
Brutus, take a look at this. Brutus, this is incredible. What a package.
Well, you're not going to bust a nut anytime we're in the ring.
That's actually, it's good to set down ground rules, actually.
After I beat you and satisfy all the Hulkamaniacs,
what?
I'm going to get off by cranking your knob just a little beyond the breaking point.
Thanks for the warning.
But I want it too, and I had to fight inch for inch to get this, and I'm not about to lay down on my back and let someone cover me.
I thank you very much. We're going to be right.
I feel bad for her because, she's being serious, cutting a promo, and the guys are all like, sex and pussy, dude.
Back.
And Vince, now knowing what a pervert we know Vince is, I mean, Jesus.
I'm going to have to apologize ahead of time because I'm going to stretch his ass like it's never been stretched before.
Again, this is I don't know if this is necessarily gay or just remarkably honest.
And now the Warriors down on his knees.
No, he's wearing pants. He's wearing pants.
This is just warm.
No, he's wearing pants.
Chris Kelly, I tell you what. When I get my hands on you, I'm going to eat your ass like a pot of collard greens, baby.
It's very black of him. I don't know how you eat a pot of collard greens.
Jerking hands off.
Shawn Michaels, you can hide behind that commissioner's stuff just so long until I jerk a knot in your ass.
Not even really sure what that even means.
And Sting, always coming from behind.
Well, you know, some people, the way they feel sensation and whatnot, there's certain angles that just feel better, and well, never mind.
And as far as Bischoff goes, I'm going to eat his ass.
And Mark Henry is handling the Big Johnson.
I started out fighting in this barn when I was a little boy, and I don't care if my last fight is in this barn. Jimmy Garvin, you touched me in a personal way you never touched me before.
Well, that's no wonder the Von Erich family met the kind of demise they did. Jimmy Garvin was always touching them. Now I get it. Now I understand. Vincent Kennedy McMahon is innocent, says bigot on socialist media. I can't. I can't go with you on that one. Atomic Ray says, did he mean to say tie a knot in your ass? Could be a knee-jerk gay comment. Yeah, I don't know what it means to jerk a knot in somebody's ass. I guess when you tie off the knot, you pull really hard, you jerk it, you jerk the knot. But why is the knot in your ass? I don't. You know, maritime rope tying has never been my thing. That I can be sure of. Volodymyr Zelenskyy accused Tucker Carlson of licking Vladimir Putin's anus. Is that what I'm to believe here? Zelenskyy was being interviewed by Piers Morgan. You know, I watched an interview between Piers Morgan and Tucker recently. And watching how honest Tucker is, and then watching how, like, mainstream media Piers is, Piers comes off as so overmatched by Tucker's honesty. Because Tucker's in there like, he's like, yeah, you kiss Zelensky's ass and you say that you're inspired by him and he's this great guy. He's like, he steals our money. He shuts down elections. He behaves like a dictator. Like, he's not sitting at the peace table. Like, how is he a good guy? And then Piers always comes back with those shitty, like, mainstream media hack. He's like, oh, so you like Vladimir Putin and you think he's great. And Tucker's like, no, I don't. I don't think Vladimir Putin's great at all. I just don't see how Zelenskyy is supposed to be this voice for freedom and democracy when he's a dictator. And Piers is like, well, if you want to be friends with Vladimir Putin. One thing that still does annoy me about Piers is he still has a lot of that, like, mid-2000s, 2010 cable news energy about him, where your debates aren't honest. You're just trying to do gotchas back and forth. Like, if you criticize Zelenskyy, he just frames you as a Putin apologist, and then whatever you said doesn't matter. And that's kind of shitty, because Piers Morgan should have to answer for that. Why do you think this Zelensky's a good guy? I've been saying about this Ukraine war for a long time. There are no good guys in it. It's one thug regime against another thug regime. We just happened to install one of the thug regimes. And, you know, technically we installed Putin too. We wanted him in there after, what's his name? After Boris Yeltsin. He was a U.S. endorsed dude, was Vladimir Putin. So Vladimir Zelenskyy, they were talking about Tucker Carlson and Tucker Carlson's appearance on Piers' show. And apparently Zelenskyy had choice words for Tucker. Imagine being so sensitive. You're a dictator in the middle of a war, but you have to address Tucker Carlson, the internet loudmouth. He said, regrettably, this blogger or journalist, whatever he wants to call him, he unfortunately fully repeats words of the Putin. No, he doesn't. He repeats words of his own. He works for the Putin because he wants to lower me to the level of Putin. This is what he wants. He wants us to be equals. Do I have to point out the manipulation in the way Zelenskyy speaks or no? I think we're all smart enough to get it. No, he's saying the reason Tucker is criticizing Zelenskyy so hard is because we all know that Putin's a thug dictator. We've known this for 25 years now. Putin's a thug dictator, former KGB agent. We're all well aware of that. The reason that Zelenskyy gets criticized harder from the Tuckers of the world and those of us who are critical of Zelenskyy is because he gets a pass by the American media and the American government. We give him all our money. So he gets a pass, so he needs to be criticized more. We don't need to go and tell people that Vladimir Putin is a tyrannical thug. They already know. But it is important, and we're also not giving $250 billion to Vladimir Putin. It is important for the American people to know that their tax dollars are going towards a guy who suspended elections, will not let people vote on whether or not he's allowed to be president still, and says, until the war's over, I'm not going to let you vote. And we give them money under the guise of fighting for freedom and democracy. I think those points are valid. I think people paying the tab have a right to know. He says, it seems that to me that this journalist, I do not remember his surname. That's such a hack thing to do, too. I don't remember his name. You do. Excuse me, Tucker. Yes, Tucker, his name. But it seems to be he needs more to deeply understand what's happening in Ukraine. Just stop working for Putin. He doesn't work for Putin. Just stop licking his ass. Yeah, see, if you criticize Zelenskyy, you're licking Putin's ass. How about you're both thugs? How about you're both corrupt as the day is long? And Zelenskyy is. Zelensky's corrupt as shit. So is Putin. But you can go to Putin and you can be like, you're corrupt. And you'll be like, fucking do something about it. I'll say that about Putin. Like, you tell Putin what he is, he'll be like, watch it. You tell Zelenskyy he's those things, he goes, well, what are you, a Putin lover? What, do you just love Putin so much? Stop licking his ass. At least Putin will tell me what he is. You'll hide behind your fucking flag and pretend you're a good guy. When he... Oh, where is it? Where's the licking his ass? There we go. Honestly, it just to me seems very... it seems to me very important. It seems to me that the person, no matter where he lives, must understand things. When he simply says something, just throwing the words, has he for one time in his lifetime lost his close ones? Oh, so I haven't lost a close one in war. I can't criticize you clearly acting like a dictator. Cool. Oh, this passive-aggressive cunt. I wish to his family, I do not know his family, I wish them peace and no losses. Was he going to wish they make $1 million too? What a hack. But one must have his own opinion and understand that he probably influences many people. He's simply disinforming them, misinforming the people. He's not, though. Like, he's not doing that. He's not saying Putin's a great guy. He's saying that the American people who are giving over their money to you are being snowed. That's what he's saying. None of that says Putin's a good guy. In fact, I've heard Tucker Carlson say many times, Putin's not a good guy. Bigot on socialist media says Zelenskyy is getting desperate. He knows his days are numbered. Well, and then also, like, he sits there and he goes, oh, yeah, $100 billion of American money. We haven't gotten it. Well, guess what? You ain't getting it. If you ain't gotten it, you ain't getting it. And by the way, you have gotten it. Your generals have been selling the weapons we've been sending, and you guys have been pocketing the extra money. So it's off the books. Shut your mouth. We have a few, what do we have? 15 minutes left. Thank you guys very much. You're also $10 into tomorrow morning, which I very much appreciate. Thank you very much for contributing to this program. I just want to real quick take a look and see, because people have been telling me today that Tim Walz had a fucking meltdown about Trump getting rid of the Department of Education, and for the life of me, I can't find it. I cannot see any video of Tim Walz. And I'm sure if people saw it, then they saw it. Tim Walz education. Tim Walz introduces new education plan 4 years ago. Oh, is that the one where you raised a shitload of taxes? And now, here's what I hate about Walz is that he's criticizing Trump for all this tariff shit and education shit and all this other stuff. But then Walz had a $17 billion surplus, raised taxes, and is still going to end up with a $5 billion deficit. Just great leadership. Great leadership. Just killer. Guys, the Steel Toe shop link is up on the in both of the chats, Rumble and YouTube. Go ahead, check it out. Johnny's got a new shirt on there, the exotic meat shirts. Check it out. This was just a fucking stupid headline. Minnesota senator wants to make it legal to eat beavers again. I tell you what, the LGBTQ caucus has just gone too far this time. A Minnesota state senator is proposing reversing a law put in effect last year that banned the consumption of nuisance beavers in Minnesota. I mean, nuisance. Define it. Under state law, homeowners are allowed to trap or kill beavers that are causing damage to their property. However, you are not allowed to poison the animals, and you must notify a conservation officer if you kill a beaver. You know what they believe in rural Minnesota? There's an old saying. It's called the 3 S's. Shoot, shovel, and shut the fuck up. That's supposed to be the rule. Oh, man, I hate this. I hate when I give a movie pick and people hate it. Pip wrote, watched the menu because of you talking about it. Now I know not to take your movie picks seriously. I had one person write to me and say that the menu was very good and they watched it because of me. So I'm going to need a third and deciding vote on that whole thing. Because I'm sorry, Pip. I didn't want to steer you wrong, but I feel like it's still a good movie. Beavers can be a nuisance when populations become too large. Your lips to God's ears. Cutting down trees and flooding areas with dams. The DNR notes that a single beaver can cut down hundreds of trees each year. Minnesota also has a beaver trapping season that runs through the winter months, but apparently you can't eat them. See, now that doesn't make any sense to me. So you can kill them, you can trap them, you can take them out, but you can't eat them. That seems like a giant waste. So apparently you can cook beaver tenderloins, you can grill it, and people say it's comparable to a beef steak. One person described it as real good beef. Another family member compared it to venison. Well, which one is it? It's almost lunchtime. Is it venison or is it beef? Those are two very distinct kinds of meat. Fox 9 anchor Randy Meyer, an avid hunter, said the meat is gamey but not terrible tasting, while Fox 9 security guard Michael Brandon says it's all in how you cook the meat. Look. If you're trapping it and killing it anyway, fuck it, let them eat it. Yeah, Sam Show with a good point. How do you even enforce that? Approachable says, I didn't realize that was a law. I trap a lot of beavers in our area, and usually once or twice a year, I'll cook one up. Right? Why should someone be able to stop you? Here, you can kill it, but what, they catch you at the cops look in your window while you're having dinner, and they're like, hey, that looks like beaver meat. Come with us. Hokamasha Baby says, I'll watch the movie just for Anya Taylor-Joy. I don't care if it's good or not. She looks good in that movie, too. She looks really, really good in that movie. Hook and Book says about the menu, the worst movie I've watched in a while. You suck, die. That seems rather extreme. That's all I'm saying. Seems a little extreme. I mean, maybe that guy really values his time. Maybe he doesn't get a lot of time to watch movies. He finally had a couple hours to sit down and watch one. He went, I trust Aaron. He picked this movie. It'll be good. And I fucked the guy over, perhaps. You know what, Hook and Book? I apologize. I apologize directly to you. Yankee says, who would ever know unless the DNR was going all Ruby Ridge on your ass? Yeah, like if you were to equate it to Ruby Ridge, it would be the DNR coming up and going, here, have a bite of this beaver steak. They'd be like, no, I don't want it. It's illegal. Come on, just eat it. Nobody's around. We're not cops. Just take a bite of it. All right, fine, I'll try it. You're under arrest. Get on the fucking ground. And then they give you your court date and you don't show up for your beaver eating court date. And then they come up and murder your family. I know a lot of you are hearing what I'm saying and going, Aaron, that sounds ridiculous. That is essentially what happened at Ruby Ridge. Ruby Ridge, it was essentially, hey, will you saw off this shotgun for me? No, sir, it's illegal. Come on, I'll give you $700. I know you really need that up here because you're living off the grid and you have to go in and buy supplies once a week or once a month. Here's $700 to saw off that shotgun. All right, I suppose I'll go ahead and make you a sawed-off shotgun. Get on the ground. You're under arrest. Then they gave him a court date, and he's like, yeah, I'm not going. All right, you don't have to come for your court date, but we're going to murder your son and your wife. Well, that doesn't sound nice. No, it's going to be remarkably unpleasant for you. It's actually going to be such a problem that it's going to lead to one of the greatest terrorist domestic bombings in American history. Because we're murderous thugs here at the government. Helgi says Minnesota will be ground zero when the beaver virus of 2028 breaks out, right? Nomo says Anya and her date were the only barely decent things about the movie. Oh, I was so glad to see what happened to that fucking guy. He was awful. Like, in a good way. Like, he was supposed to be a hateable character. I do like John Leguizamo, so I was interested to see what would happen to him in the movie, and I'm a huge Ray Fiennes guy. So, watching him do his thing in that movie, that was really, really good. It's a solid film. I will say that, though. Anya Taylor-Joy, Ray Fiennes, and also the Asian chick. I thought the Asian lady who worked at the restaurant did a really good job in that movie, too. She creeped the fuck out of me. So, Anya Taylor-Joy, Ray Fiennes, and the Asian chick. Oh, and, of course, the guy who was on the date with her. But she was an escort, wasn't she? Isn't that kind of what we gather from the movie? He had a girlfriend. He told her what was going to happen at this dinner, and she said, yeah, hard pass, you're a nut, I'm breaking up with you. So he had to bring this, what's her name? Anya Taylor-Joy, who turns out was an escort. And, yeah, I thought her and Fiennes had really good chemistry in that movie. Nomo says, yeah, Fiennes is always solid. I think it was the style and execution of the flick I didn't dig. Well, I mean, it is dark. I mean, if you're like, look, man, this movie is too... I'll tell you this. There was a point in the movie that I ended up pushing through, but there was a point in the movie where I'm like, well, this just seems like a march to darkness. Like, this just... Like, the movie turned bummer too early, and it just stayed bummer and got to be a bigger and bigger bummer as it went on. It does drag in that sense. So I can't criticize anyone for having that opinion on the movie. But I did like it, mostly because Ray Fiennes fucking crushed it. Here we go. We got an update. We're going to end in Minnesota today. Thank you guys very much for your contributions. Thank you very much for being a part of the show today. I really do appreciate it. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow, all of that happy shit. We appreciate. Thanks for sticking around through our little internet outage, too. I appreciate that. Technically, our view count today is going to be up, but our live viewer count was heading. We were looking what, close to 900. Who knows how high we could have gotten today if we wouldn't have blipped out on the total live viewership. Fug. I don't even count Facebook and Kick either. I don't know what those do. Minnesota Republicans are trying to recall DFL lawmakers. This is getting really shitty and really obnoxious. So if you don't know what's going on in Minnesota right now, consider yourself lucky. The Republicans have one more person in the House of Representatives than the Democrats do currently, because there needs to be a special election in a Democratic district to replace a representative. Well, the Democrats are choosing not to show up for work until that election is done so that the Republicans don't have a majority. And the Republicans are trying to tell the DFL, like, look, we're in session. We need to start getting the people's business done. And I believe the Republicans also have the Senate in Minnesota, too. So they don't want the Republicans controlling everything. And the district that's having the election is a blue district. So now the Republicans are having to go to court to try to get the Democratic lawmakers back to do their job.
All 66 current House Democrats for not showing up for work at the Capitol.
Now, Minnesota legislator has never been successfully recalled in the state's history. Fox 9's So-Young Kim joins us live from the state capitol. So-Young, it's a long process, but Minnesota Republicans look like they're taking the first step here.
That's right. State Republicans tell me they're serious about moving forward with this recall attempt. They've officially started collecting the 25 signatures needed to send a petition to the Secretary of State.
Secretary of State, by the way, is a Democrat. This will go nowhere.
The Minnesota
This
House
is performative.
remains at a standstill. State Republicans announced Tuesday, after going into the fourth week of House DFLers boycotting the session at the Capitol, they have officially kicked off the recall process and say they believe they have grounds to do so.
There are 66 districts across our state that have no representation at the Capitol. There are hearings that are not happening. There are debates that are not.
This is what sucks about people like regular voters pretending they're like in the party with these representatives. You should be punishing these people if you're a Democrat or a Republican. The person representing you in the legislature is not showing up to work to represent you. You should punish them in the next election. I don't care what party they are. But no, people think they are Democrats or they are Republicans, like sports teams. And they'll back the Democrats for showing up and not doing their job.
State law does provide guidance for the recall of elected state officials. It's a long process that involves many layers. Republicans estimate it could take around 10 months to complete if successful at every step of the way. So how does the process work? Minnesota Republicans are working on the very first step to submit a proposed recall petition. They need to collect 25 signatures from eligible voters in each district and submit grounds or reasons for recall. See,
this seems complicated already. Why don't we all just go back to fucking work, please?
Submitted, the Secretary of State reviews the proposal and, if valid, sends it to the state's highest court.
And the Secretary of State is not going to say it's valid. He's going to shoot it down. So let's. And, you know, Tim Walz talks about leadership. We need leadership. How about you whip your own party into shape and tell them to show up for work?
And the Chief Justice appoints a special master to review, and there would be a public hearing. If it passes that step, it trickles back to the Supreme Court, then back to the Secretary of State's office to issue a new petition with a much higher threshold. This time it requires signatures from 25% of voters who voted in the last election in each district.
Yeah, it sounds like a mess. So nothing's going to happen. And until voters start holding stunts like this accountable and stop just voting red or blue, shit like this will be allowed to happen. For sure. For sure. Eaton Clam says this should show people that they do nothing. Who else just says they're not working? Don't pay these motherfuckers. I mean, that should be it, too. You shouldn't get paid. But that's why politics is such a gravy gig and why so many people go into it is because there's no accountability. You don't have to do a goddamn thing, and you can still collect your paycheck. You literally cannot show up for work. And they'll go, it's a payday. There's the direct deposit. Well, guys, that does it for today. We've got an evening show coming up tonight at 7 o'clock. We hope you join us for that. Just 2 goals left for the week. Thank you very much for your generosity as we continue to move towards a cure for steel-toe derangement syndrome. Goodbye, everybody.